She humiliated me in front of her friends. You can't even satisfy me, let alone provide for me, she sneered across the dinner table. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I simply smiled, placed cash for my own meal on the table, and walked out. Hours later, she showed up at my door in tears only to be met by someone she wasn't expecting. But let me back up, because this story isn't as simple as it sounds. My ex, Vanessa, and I had been together for about 8 months. I'm 25. She's 24. In the beginning, things were fine, good, even. But as time went on, she became more demanding, more critical of my life and my career. I run my own plumbing business. I work hard, make excellent money, and I'm proud of what I've built. But Vanessa never saw it that way. Whenever people asked what I did, she would hesitate, or worse, make it sound like I was some blue-collar nobody barely scraping by. She worked as a boutique manager downtown, surrounded daily by expensive clothes, fancy clients, and wealthy professionals. And slowly, she started comparing me to the men she met through work. We'd been living together in my house, fully paid off for months. Yet she constantly made remarks about moving to a more impressive neighborhood. Everyone at work lives in those new luxury condos downtown, she said one night. Babe, this house is paid off. Why would we rent when we already have a home? I asked. Because it's not just about money, she replied. It's about lifestyle. That's when the real problems began. She'd started hanging around a group of coworkers who all dated men in corporate jobs. And suddenly, she was embarrassed about dating a plumber. Why can't you get a normal job like everyone else? She demanded one night. Vanessa, I own my business. I make more than most people with office jobs, I reminded her. It's not about money, Mike. It's about what people think. I should have ended it then, but I didn't. Last Friday, she texted me. She wanted to go to a new upscale restaurant downtown. Sure, I said, even though it wasn't really my kind of place. Great, she replied. I invited Ashley and Madison from work and their boyfriends. You'll finally get to meet them, red flag. I didn't respond to any of Vanessa's frantic messages. I didn't mean what I said. Ashley had to cover my part of dinner. Can you Venmo me? Please answer me. I'm getting an Uber home, we need to talk. I ignored every word. She came home close to midnight, tried to talk through the locked door of my bedroom, but I didn't open it. The next morning, Sunday, she was gone. She left a note saying she'd be staying with Ashley for a few days while I cooled off. That afternoon, while picking up supplies at the hardware store, I ran into Emma, an old friend from high school. We hadn't spoken in years, Mike. Oh my God, how are you? Emma, wow, it's been forever. I'm good. You? I just moved back last month. Got a job as a nurse at the hospital. We ended up talking in the parking lot for nearly an hour. Emma was smart, grounded, funny, the complete opposite of Vanessa. Before we parted, she smiled and said, we should grab coffee sometime. I agreed. On Monday, Vanessa came by while I was at work and took more of her things. She left another note, this time saying she needed space to think about us. Tuesday, I met Emma for coffee. What was supposed to be a quick catch-up turned into 3 hours of effortless conversation, family, work, dreams, goals. She seemed genuinely impressed when I mentioned I ran my own business. That's amazing, Mike. Starting something from scratch takes guts. Thanks. It's been good to me, I bet. And honestly, when my bathroom flooded last year, I'd have paid anything for a fast fix. Her reaction was worlds apart from Vanessa's dismissive attitude. By Wednesday, Emma came over for dinner. I grilled burgers, we watched a movie, and she couldn't stop admiring the house. Mike, this place is beautiful. You own it? Yeah, bought it 3 years ago. That's incredible. Most people our age are still renting. On Thursday, Vanessa texted asking if we could talk. I ignored it. Friday, she escalated. She called my mom. My mom phoned later, laughing. Some girl called me crying about how she made a mistake. Wanted me to convince you to take her back. I told her, if she was foolish enough to be embarrassed by a man who owns his own house and business, She deserved the fallout. Mom, you didn't say that. Oh, I sure did. Then I reminded her that my son was raised better than to chase after people who don't value him. By Saturday night, Emma and I went on a proper date. She looked stunning. The conversation flowed naturally, no shallow remarks, no judgments. Can I ask you something, Mike? She said softly over dinner. Of course. What happened with your last relationship? She was embarrassed about my job. Thought dating a plumber was beneath her. That's insane. You're successful and hardworking. What more could anyone ask for? Apparently, someone in a corporate office. Her loss, she said with conviction. When I dropped her off, she kissed me goodnight. For the first time in months, I felt something real again. Exactly a week after that disastrous dinner, my doorbell rang. Expecting Emma, I opened the door to